2026 is going to be mental, and I'm not here to give you wishful thoughts only. I'm here to give you 10 predictions that will happen in 2026, and I can back every single one of them with evidence. By December 2026, you all wonder how I called them accurately. So let's get into it. The first prediction is spoiled because I just received a David Ornstein notification. So Ruben Amorim was sacked. That was my first prediction. Ruben Amorim will be sacked, but that was half the prediction because I already know his replacement. My prediction was Ruben Amorim will be sacked this year and Oliver Glasner will replace him. Let me explain myself. First on Ruben Amorim, I think results were catastrophic. We're talking about a manager that had 31% of win rate. I think that's the lowest in the recent managerial career of Manchester United coaches. We're talking about a guy who was also having a role of people at the club not satisfied with his tactical inflexibility. We're talking about a manager also who had problems with some youngsters at the club. So some youngsters couldn't develop, like Kobe Mino, and the other ones who were on loan. And yeah, he's gone. And who's going to replace him? For me, my bet is clearly on Oliver Glasner. Why Oliver Glasner? Because his contract expires in the summer. And I think it's the perfect time for him to join a big club. I think he's been waiting for that chance for his whole life. And his work at Frankfurt and at Palace puts him, I think, in the top spot for any big club that's wanting for a coach. I think he refused also that Bayern job because he wants to stay in the Premier League, and I see him joining Man United. I think it's a continuation of the squad they had been building. For Ruben Amorim, he also plays the 3-4-3 system, which also is perfect for Manchester United, but he's also tactical, flexible enough to play 4 at the back. His preferred method is 4 at the back. He has said it in a lot of interviews I have watched. So you would get a manager who has also proved that he can work with strikers. Go and look his work with Frankfurt strikers. Go and look at his work with GP Mateta at Crystal Palace. He can develop young players. He can also work with what he has, because at Palace their financial situation wasn't the best. He used a squad literally with losing players on injuries, and he brought them to their first FA Cup title. They're playing also a European competition, which hadn't happened before. So for me, I think he will be the replacement of Amorim. I still think Fletcher gonna take over till the summer, and in the summer then Glasner goes to Manchester United. That's my first prediction. My next prediction is also one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League, and I want to talk about Sunderland. For me, I still think Sunderland will qualify for European football. Right now, they're not in the best position possible. They're 8th with 30 points, but equally with the 7th Brentford at 30 points. They're only 4 points behind Liverpool, who are in the top 4. But let me explain myself about Sunderland. I think this team has what it takes to play a European competition next season. Whether maybe Champions League will be a big push, but whether Europa League or Conference League. And I think with the UEFA coefficients this year, I think top 8 will directly play European competition. But I think this team will push for it. I think they have proved it during the first half of the season. They have given me enough to believe in them. I'm talking about their defense firstly. I think Jose Mourinho started saying a great defense wins you titles, and I believe with their defense they will push for example for a top 6 finish. I don't understand how a club like Liverpool, who are having a horrible season, have more points than Sunderland. That's weird, but I believe really like they have a solid defense. Again, we've seen the performance of Arderte, the performance of Mukiele against Manchester City. They are masterclass of performance against a striker like Haaland, who's the best striker in the league. That proves me again this is a solid team enough to win. And I don't forget that during this time they're missing some players because of AFCON. So how really they're getting points with all the important players gone for AFCON? I'm talking about a player like Noah Sadiki, a player like Bertrand Traoré, a player like Shamseddin Telbi, and a player like Habib Diarra also, who didn't play in the first half of the season because of that injury. Look, I still think Sunderland can even become better in the second half of the season and will be a danger for most of the teams. And I've seen that they're also looking to bolster their attack with players like Ian Kebal coming in on the wings. So look, this Sunderland team is exciting, and I think getting European competition next season will be really the trophy they deserve. So I still think Sunderland will play European football next season, and my personal bet is the Europa League. Okay, my third take is a bit easy because it's currently the case, but I really think Cherki is gonna cement himself as the best player maker in the league. Currently, he's on 8 assists, the most assists I think with Bruno Fernandes in the league, and he's still adapting to the Premier League after his summer move. He's playing in a city that creates a lot of chances, so I believe he's getting his assets. And also, it's a World Cup year with Didier Deschamps. To get really game time, he will have to do more. He knows that even if he finishes with 10, 12 assists, Didier Deschamps will ask for more, and there is also a lot of competition around him for that number 10 spot. So I believe that this year also will be an extra motivation for him, and I really think everyone at the end of the year 2026, everyone will say, okay, Cherki is the best player maker in the league. He will finish the season with the most assists, and he'll start the season as he finished the other season. So that's my third take. And talking about incredible midfielders, there are two I see moving to big clubs this summer. I'm talking about Adam Morton and Elliot Anderson. I believe they will join big 4 clubs this summer. Let's start by Adam Morton. I still think he's going to have a great second half of the season. His first half of the season was mixed. There's always a bit of injuries that catch him up, but I still think he'll show again his quality in the second half of the season. I think he'll push for a World Cup place in that England squad. Look, he's an incredible number 6. I think I like to call him the Palace Busquets. Really good on the ball. I think his passing range again is incredible, and I still think many clubs will want him this summer. Apparently, from what I've heard, I don't know if it's true, he could have a gentleman agreement in his contract that would let him leave in the summer to a top 4 club for 60 million. If that's true, I think every 4 club literally should jump on him, because again, we're talking about maybe of a generational midfielder. He's English, he's so young, it can become even better. So I think for me, this summer it's now or never for Adam Morton, and my personal bet will be on Liverpool. I think Liverpool will look to bolster their midfield. They will change a little bit of things. They will look maybe to partner him next to Gravenberch. Look, I'm a fan of Adam Morton, but as a Liverpool fan, I don't think that's the profile we need. But that's my personal prediction. I still think Adam Morton leaves. And Elliot Anderson, look, I think Nottingham Forest, with the season they're having, also with the money they've invested, they have to sell in the summer. And Elliot Anderson, I don't see him not playing for a top club competing for the elite trophies, because I still think he will start next to Declan Rice in that England's team at the World Cup. He'll get more exposition. Everyone will know how good he is, and I think it will be difficult for Nottingham Forest to retain him. How will you retain him without any European competition, while other clubs like Manchester City, clubs like Liverpool, clubs like Manchester United will all want him? And my personal bet, I still think he goes to City. I think he partners Rodri in that Manchester City team. I think he becomes number 8. Maybe they hoped Tijani Reinders to become. That's my prediction, but let's see what happens. So that's my 4th prediction. Look, for the number 5, West Ham fans, please don't insult me during this video, but I think it's the year West Ham gets relegated. They're 18, 5 points behind Forest, who are 17th. I've seen the odds, everyone predicts them to go down, so this is a bit of a tap in. They have already sacked Graham Potter, they have appointed Nuno, and I think Nuno doesn't survive also for a long time. I've seen also rumors that he's already pushed outside, maybe if he loses against Wolverhampton the next game. But I really think it's not Nuno's fault. You can't do much with this squad. I think it's just poor squad planning. There is a lot of Premier League quality missing. When I see the back line again, when I see the goalkeeper situation, Areola, Hermansen, again, I don't understand the owners, and I think the only way West Ham will learn from also the mistake they made of getting rid of David Moyes would be a relegation. I hope that a trip to the championship will get them back to the place. And there is no tactical identity whatsoever on the new manager. There is, I can't tell you what's their philosophy. I can't tell you what it represents. Also, the situation around players like Lucas Paqueta, I don't get it as much as they signed two strikers again, two strikers who are coming from abroad who don't even speak English. I don't see how it will resolve their situation. And when I see rumors that they are linked to players like Raheem Sterling, I can't really understand their project, and I really think this year it's the year they go down. Talking about regression, a team that I believe will regress in this year and will miss out on Champions League football, I think is Chelsea. Look, this Enzo Maresca sacking will come to haunt them this year. Their managerial instability again, it will cost them this year, and I think the squad is too chaotic to sustain really a top 4 challenge. There will be a big battle. We're talking about teams, as I said, like Sunderland, teams like Liverpool, teams like Manchester United who are competing. There is a lot of teams. There is a little gap between the top 4 and the 10th spot. Teams like Newcastle also are always going to come back. So I think that Chelsea will miss out on the Champions League next season, and I believe also they will put a lot of importance on the Champions League. They will do well, kind of, in the Champions League because their squad is built for those big Champions League nights. But in terms of consistency on a whole season, they will suffer. So that's why I believe Chelsea, I think, will suffer. It's new manager, but same problem. Chelsea cycle, they'll finish maybe 5th or 6th and try to act surprised. This is my personal preferred on this list when I was working on it, and it's that Morgan Rogers will become a player of the year contender. In the beginning of the season, I had said it that this is the season of Morgan Rogers. This is the season where he cements himself among the best players in the league, not only as one of the best talents in the league, but the best players in the league. And after his first half of the season, I was hearing comments like, you overrated him, or he's not that good enough, he's not ready. And now, in the recent run of games, you've seen that he is the most important player in that Villa side, and that Villa are really a contender to that title, and a player who will push them, because I believe Unai Emery will keep this Villa really good. He will drag them again and keep dragging them until the end in that title race, and a player that will stand out, a player that will do sort of a double, so more than 10 goals and more than 10 assists will be Morgan Rogers. And at the end of the season, he will be in the Player of the Year shouts because he will be the best player of Aston Villa. He will be the engine of Aston Villa. And I believe that there is also a little motivation behind him also of the World Cup, because again, I believe Thomas Tuchel will not sleep thinking of that England lineup. I don't think starting Jude Bellingham will be an easy decision, because again, I believe Morgan Rogers also will deserve that number 10 spot. And I believe this is maybe a crazy one, but I believe Morgan Rogers starts the World Cup by being a starter. I believe that England start the World Cup with Morgan Rogers as a number 10. Not Jude Bellingham, but Morgan Rogers. That's my prediction, and that's how highly I rate him. These next predictions from my Arsenal fan friends, I hate to admit it, because even if I had predicted them to win the league, I expected a little bit of competition from Manchester City, from Liverpool, from a club like Chelsea, but I really think Arsenal win the league after 22 years. Finally, I believe this is Arsenal. I believe they will win silverware. I think right now they're leading the table. They're leading the table in terms of points. There is no better team than them in the Premier League, and I can maybe say in the world also. I think it will be a record finishing runners-up like 4 times. Now it will be the 4th time they would finish second. I don't think that's possible. I think it's the year also Mikel Arteta also gets what he deserves for all these years of work he's put to rebuild this Arsenal team. Let's not forget where Arsenal come from. That's why I respect really Mikel Arteta as a coach, even if sometimes, yes, watching Arsenal is not the best moments ever, but I understand him because he had to build something really strong to rebuild this Arsenal. I respect the work he's put in, and I think he deserves a Premier League title for all that work. And I think the mental pressure is working this season, because I think they're saying in their head, this is our year, not again, but this is our year mentality. So that's why I think it will work. And I think also the summer signings, Eze, Gyökeres, Madueke, it will provide them depth, and they won't crumble in the last moments of the season. And they are really big, also big shout for the Champions League, because let's see a club that's gonna beat them on a two-leg match. So let's see if the Champions League also they can be a contender. But I believe this year they finish with the most points tally. I'm saying this also till December. Still think they start the next season strong, and they're also again a contender last season. So let's see how it ends. But I still think this year they finish the Premier League with Premier League trophy. Since Arsenal are gonna win the league, in my prediction, I think the PFA Player of the Year, like almost every year, will come from the champion team, and the player that will lead them to the league. The most important player for me in that Arsenal team will be Declan Rice. I've said it in the last few months and even in the last few years, before he became that good. Even when at West Ham, I said that he was one of the best midfielders in the league. Not best ambassador, but one of the best midfielders in the league. He has a lot to his game, and I'm happy for him that everyone recognized him. That Madrid match, I think, gave him the platform, and he's continued really well this season. We're talking about a guy that has 4 goals and 8 assists in the league only. I believe this season he ends up by being the PFA Player of the Year. He will captain Arsenal to a Premier League title. He will really play an integral role in them winning the title. And I think defensively and offensively, what he will bring, I think everyone will sit at the table. The voters will sit at the table at the end of the season and say, look, the evidence is there. The most important player in that Arsenal team, the most important player in the Premier League right now, it's Declan Rice. I think he gets the credit because he's the engine of everything they do, and the voters will recognize that. And my last prediction, one of the prediction I've made in the beginning of the season, and I'll bring it back because now most of you are familiar with him. Eli Junior Krupi will establish himself as a Premier League elite striker this year. I've said it. He will establish himself as a Premier League elite striker. We're talking about the guy that has the most goals per minute played, literally like a goal per match he has. And if he continues this cadence, I see him scoring at least 20 Premier League goals this year, which is not bad for a guy who's getting the first experience in the first division. Let's not forget that last season he was playing in Ligue 2 with Lorient, and this season is coming to not Ligue but Premier League, and he's still bringing goals. Look, I believe this Bournemouth team will look much better. I don't think the results they've had in the last few games tell the whole truth. I think they've had a lot of injuries. It's a team that has lost their best defenders, but I really back Andoni Iraola to turn this around. And one player that will sort of replace the Semenyo output in this second half of the season will be Eli Junior Kopi. Again, even you can see like the players in Bournemouth, they say too, he's a generational talent. And I think he'll pick up where Semenyo will live, and he'll bang them goals, and he will start next season as a starter with really a more important role, and he'll still score those goals. I think this is the year he passes from wonder kid to really like golden boot contender, and he will force maybe Didier Deschamps to consider him for that France attack, not for the World Cup. I think Didier Deschamps is too close to think about him for the World Cup, but I think for the year he will get maybe a call up in the senior France team. Let's see. So I think everyone is waiting for the next great striker, but Krupi has been knocking on the door. So that's my prediction for 2026. So there you have it, 10 things that will happen in 2026. Screenshot this video, make edits all you want, but come back in December for this video and we'll see how many I got right. I bite myself to get most of them right, but we'll see. Football is not that predictable, so I'm allowed to miss. We'll see. Let me know in the comments which prediction you liked, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more football content. Take care.